What's up, my Jeeping peeps? Got another cool product for you today. Another product from Auxbeam. If you seen the video a couple weeks ago from my LED headlights install, still running them. They're doing great. Love those headlights. Those headlight LEDs, things rock. This particular light bar has got a cool feature to it. It's got daytime running lights. Now, if you see a lot of the new cars running around today, they got that light that they run during the daylight hours, so other people can come at them or intersections can see them much better. This particular light bar has that built into it, and it also has the main beam feature that lights up everything. It's really bright, rascal. It really is. So we can sit here and get the gabbing, or we can show you how to put it in and show you how it performs. Cool. Before we get to installing this on the Jeep, let's look at the hardware that comes with the kit. Now you see here, which is kind of different from a lot of the ones that you get on the market these days, is that this little lens is right here. Now, this one I've got snapped in place. Separate lens here, and what it does is snaps down inside this groove right through here, and underneath there, that diffuses the light and creates these as a floodlight, because by default these are spot beams. And if you also notice, look, I've got one on my hood here from a different manufacturer. If you notice how the LEDs are just made inside of these little reflector cups, with the Auxbeam products, you have little diffusers right here. They're inside of a reflector cup, yes, but they've also got a little lens right there that helps direct the light much better. And then we also come with wiring harness with switch. Now let's look at the mounting options. We got two different brackets here. We have pretty little chrome ones right here that has the little grooves here so you can rotate them, lock them in place. Then we got the black pedestal styles here. Now the issue I have with these, look at this real quick. You got your wiring harness coming out here. Now if you were to use this bracket here, it would have to mount under like this, line up the hole. Now see the wire right there? The wire's hitting on the bracket, so you've actually got very limited room that you can actually use that arc back there. So I'm definitely not going to use these right here. I'm not a fan of chrome to begin with, but that's just a preference thing. It's not a fault by the company by any stretch, but the design flaw is that there is very little room right there to use that arc to adjust it with. So really this bracket right here is useless for this light because that wiring is all in the way. So what we will be using is these. So let's look at how we're going to mount this right there, because if it's going to do what I'm thinking it's going to do, because down inside these crosses you got daytime running lights. I'm going to mount it to the front of my Jeep here, see what it looks like down low. Alright, I have the light bar kind of set in place right now where I'm going to mount it at. And notice also that this is the curved design. This actually alters your mounting depth some, because your mounting depth you don't worry about here to here. If you're recessing this back inside of a plate, you know, like if I was to fabricate a bumper, I have to accommodate the face here being flush with the bumper. So if I was to drag upon a rock or something like that, I don't crunch the face of this. So this has to be recessed back, but then I got to worry about this dimension. So actually your dimension is from here to about right back here, because that's going to make, if you want to draw a line from here all the way across to this one, that's going to be your actual mounting depth, because it would be the face of the bumper here to where it doesn't contact the tube inside here. So keep that in mind if you do any kind of custom fabrication. Now, also being a curved design, you notice your bracket's always a little bit cattywampus crooked. That's typical for the curved designs. I also notice too that your knurling on your brackets here are both inside and out, so that gives you the option if you move your foot inboard or outboard. I tend to move mine outboard because it's just easier to get to the bolts out here. Now that I got my holes drilled, ready to mount the light. Now let me give you guys a little suggestion, a little tip. Now you can use a great big fat drill bit right off the bat like this if you want to, but if you start with a smaller bit, go through first, then come back with a larger bit, it makes life a lot easier on you. It really does. So that was drilled, let's mount the light. The black brackets come with little rubber pads that you put here and line your holes up and then push a bolt through coming this way. And see, I've already got this one in place. try to slide both through. Alright everyone, it's tool trick time for you. Now here's what we got to do. Here's the bolt that I need to put the nut onto. Problem with it is, there's a bar right here. Those of you who know your Jeeps, it's that frame support bar that spans between the two main structures here. It's up underneath here. Now, can you get your finger up in there? Yes, you can, because I see I'm moving the bolt. But kind of hard to hold the nut in place and start the bolt at the same time. So here's what we can do. Wrench. Oh, I know what you're thinking, but if you put that nut in the wrench right there, it'll fall right on through. And yes, you are correct. Electrical tape. Tear off a little piece. Now before you put the tape on, you really need to figure out what, since you got this angle on the head of the wrench right here, you need to figure out which way would be the easiest way to get into that. If you went like this, would it be the proper angle? Would it be like that? Well, at this angle, it's going to be like this with the head pointing up. So put that there, tape on the back side, like that. And if you want to, you can wrap it up a little bit to make sure it stays put. Then we can get to the bottom side of that, of the bolt. Now, if your fingers are small enough, you can probably get down there and hold it with your hand. I think it's the right size wrench apparently. Now if your hands are small enough, you can probably get down there with your fingers to hold it in place. But there we go. See, I got it started already. And your wrench is already on it, so you don't have to move it. Okay, I'm not going to fully tighten it up yet. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. Don't tighten up all your bolts until you get, see, let's go. Don't tighten up any of your bolts until you got everything in place. Alright, we got a bolt started each end. They're slightly snug, but not so tight I can't move this. So looking at it, looks like we've got pre-wool vertical, aiming downward a little bit. That's the way I prefer mine. So now that I've got pretty much placed where I want, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my bolts. Okay, run down on my wiring. Start with the switch first. I got it in place. See the little lights that come on. And I've got it run under my dash and through right here. You see the white plug that was on the harness. I pushed one part of the harness through the firewall and plugged it up underneath here. Got the wiring all tied up under my dash with wire ties. And the switch, whenever you push, the buttons feel pretty well okay, but the thing with it is they're kind of floppy, so I wouldn't guarantee how long the switch lasts, but that's okay because I'm actually working on a switch pod and a relay pod, so that's coming up in a future video. I've got all the parts, I just got to get everything wired up, so this stuff will be replaced eventually anyway. So now let's head outside. Okay, you can see the wiring harness is coming through the firewall here to the relay pack. And it's got 40 amp relays in them. Now I've just got them tied up here right now. Like I said a moment ago about that switch, I'm going to replace all this wiring because I'm getting wiring here, what's on front. I've got some lights that's going to go in the back for backup lights. And I still haven't wired my 52-inch in. So I'm getting plenty of these lights, but I want to build me a relay box to handle all that stuff. And that's a future video that I'm working on. So all my wiring's coming through, hook your positive negatives up to your battery, and here fuses here. So then I've got it tucked right here. It's all tied up nice and neat, going down here, coming out here, and we're going to tie it to this. Now Auxbeam put these female spade connectors in, but the light itself has none and did not include any. So what we got to do now is I'm going to hook up the ground first, then we'll go to the other ones to figure out which one's which. Okay, I've got the black hooked up, which is the ground for both the daytime running light and the main beam. So now what I'm going to do is go in there and turn on the switches and figure out which one of these wires is which. And if you look at these two right here, it's pretty well easy to tell. White is a lot smaller wire, a lot lighter gauge, and the red is a lot heavier gauge. So probably what I'll just go ahead and do is match up white to white. Then of course this blue will go to that red, which will be because they're running the same size relays and everything, so it's not an issue with that. So I'll just go white to white and blue to red. Okay, we've got the wires all connected up here, and I got, like I said a moment ago, I went white to white. White should be the daytime running light part of it. The red wire coming off the light should be the main LED bar beam, the bright beam. So I went white to white, blue to red. Using butt connectors, but I stripped the insulation off of them. Some come yellow, some come blue insulation, depending on what gauge you're using. I stripped the insulation off of them. Now I'm taking the heat shrink tubing. I'll slide over top of that, shrink that tubing down to give them a good weatherproof seal. Now we have the connections well insulated. I used my heat gun, straight down the tubing. Then I took electrical tape, started here, wrapped all the way this way, then wrapped all the way back, all one continuous piece. Ended right here, broke the tape off, took a wire tie, tied it off so it wouldn't unravel the tape. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take this wire, we're going to tuck it under this bar right here. Like so, you see it hanging here. We're going to take it right there, we're just going to wrap wire ties around this right here to keep it from hanging down anywhere. The light bar installation is complete. So I close the hood, I step back and look at it and I think, wait a minute, I noticed something here. Look at here, headlight of course, nice chrome white, good quality lenses, good quality reflectors behind it. This nice chrome white matches the headlights, looks good. Then we go up here on the hood. That's yellow. The 52 inch, it's got a yellow tint to it also. Why is that? Well, as I mentioned earlier in the video with the Auxbeam product, Auxbeam uses their products and they put the LEDs in, but they also put finished lenses in front of them to help, one, control the light, but two, it also gives a nice clean finished look. And it's a solid build light, feels great. Tonight we'll really get to see what kind of performance we get out of it. But as I mentioned, they put lenses over there to, again, control the light, and two, to create a nice finished look, versus the other brand that I have here are just nothing more than reflector cups. This one right here's got a prism effect to it, multifaceted I guess you might say, because it's a flood and this is the spot beams. But nonetheless, you know, you still see the yellow LEDs, which gives a yellow look in the daylight. And the 52 up top is about the same way. Auxbeam contacted me to see if I would like to try out their LED bar and their headlights. So it's like, hey, heck yeah, that would be great. So they sent me both the LED headlights, which is in there right now, and I will link the video down below. And now I have installed the LED bar. So tonight we'll get a chance to go take it for a ride, see what it looks like, get a little more review on the performance of it. Now what we're going to see is, of course, the main LED bar that lights everything up, but then you got to have your little crosshairs here that are the daytime running lights. So tell you what, let's hit a switch and see what they look like. They'll probably just freak out the camera, but it look cool anyway. There's a DRL, and of course I don't know how bad it's freaking the camera out. According to my viewfinder, it's really bad, but you got a series of crosses that's coming across through there. It looks really cool for safety. Daytime running lights are great for safety. I ran those for daytime running lights all the time, and they were bright enough I could use them at nighttime for like driving lights too. They work really well. But those will end up in backup lights eventually. So now let's hit the big switch. Okay, I'm going to turn off the daytime running light, turn on the LED bar. Hit the switch for the LED bar, and there we go. Bright little rascal, isn't it? Of course, the camera's doing nothing but freaking out looking at it, but we'll see tonight what it really looks like. Now let's check out the performance of this thing. Now you can see right there across the boat dock, not very bright, is it? Not at all, actually, at all, which is good. Okay, I just confused you guys. Well, if you remember the opening of the video and a few times throughout the video I mentioned about the daytime running light, well, that's what I've got turned on right now. It's not supposed to be excessively bright. It's just supposed to be bright enough that you are being seen in oncoming traffic. Now, I'm not going to point the camera directly at it because it drives the camera nuts. But you see, very nice. You should be well seen during the daylight hours, and during the nighttime hours, it's going to work well for you too. But what we really need to know is, how well does it perform? The main part of it. Let's flip that switch and see what happens. See, you got the little red light right there, which is indicate my daytime running light. Now I'm going to turn, boom, green light comes on. There's the main beam. There's the good bright rascal. Great performer. So it's about a 21-inch bar, curved, and it's got the little focus lenses in it. So you see it's got a nice tight circle pattern right there. That is very cool, because you got to concentrate that beam nice and tight out in front of you and not be spraying all over to the sides and stuff. Now I've got other lights on my Jeep too that covers the sides, that has more of a flood pattern. This is a spot pattern. But you know what else is cool? Let me get them. We still got a nice tight beam in the middle right here because of the center of the light bar. Okay, there's your lens there, there's a lens there. The center of the light bar here still has a spot beam. Those are dispersing the light out to the sides a little bit wider here now. So you got a switch here, push that. Then we're back to the daytime running light. Now come out here for our lenses before we take off, heading to the house. Get hold of them and unsnap them. Just snap right off. See, pretty simple. Alright my Jeep peeps, hope you like that light bar. Got the daytime running lights built in, which is an added safety feature for daytime and nighttime. So oncoming traffic can see you coming and hopefully not pull out in front of you. Safety, always great. So also check out Auxbeam. They have a lot of great products, different types of light bars, LED headlights, great company. And I've talked to them a time or two via email. They've always been quick to respond, and I've had really good service out of them so far. So check them out, and I'll tell you what I'll do. Down in the description, I'll put links to their stores, and also go to my website www.fixjeeps.com, and I'll have a link to this light bar, and you guys also check out the site and all the other good cool stuff I got going on there. So www.fixjeeps.com. So if you like this video, thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and down below if you got comments you want to say, make it educational, help other people out. So everyone, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Auxbeam, appreciate me helping try out your products. Everyone, peace out. Later, y'all.